So what you're saying is we should probably add another brief history of Triangle Good with the greatest,
the Vandy man,
the greatest
intro videos
of Triangle Good history. Now, if we were to do something like that, we have to include the mechanized pig with the Hurricanes galloping through various arenas and like frying the Thrashers, and all that kind of stuff. That'd be pretty good. Anyway, you ready to go?
Rising Defiantly.
You're not going to find Rising Defiantly. Like, I feel like maybe Logan's got that somewhere on a thumb drive, in his personal collection of various in-arena. As long as they don't do Seven Nation Army ever again, I'd be fine with that. Now, what would happen?
2014.
What would happen if they brought back POD's "Here Comes the Boom"? That makes you feel some type of way, right? So here comes the boom.
I gotta find this.
Anyway, all right.
Well, I could just find is the LSU one, the original one.
What, Rising Defiantly?
LSU is the one who did Rising Defiantly.
Oh, I didn't know that. Again, you guys got way too wrapped up in that stuff. Anyway, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Let's podcast. Alongside Joe Giglio, I'm Joe Ovies inside Eford Studios in downtown Raleigh. Thanks to Empire Properties. What was that? Playoffs. Thanks to Empire Properties and thanks to Copiers Plus. You can check them out online at copiers-plus.com. Print management, document management, everything you need into the cloud. As we're discovering and doing the brief history of Triangle Good, I feel like Copiers Plus needs to give me a special drive just to put all these sound bites that they're preserved forever. Maybe one day we can find the Rise Defiantly. Who knows?
Rising Defiantly.
But it's just past 2 o'clock.
While the cicadas whisper.
We'll get to that. It's just past 2 o'clock on a Thursday. You know what that means. It is time for another OG Live brought to you by The Butcher's Market. Check them out online at thebutchersmarkets.com. And more importantly, as we get closer to the start of the football season, it's time to start thinking about tailgates, right? In fact, that's probably the only real way you're going to interact with your family between now and sometime in the spring of 26, if you think about it. Like, you'll see them at a tailgate.
We have no more Thursdays between now and March 30th.
It's like, hey, I went to the butcher's market. I got those filet burgers. We'll grill up. Don't look me in the eye, though. Like, if you're trying to get me to say something, I'm too busy watching preseason football right now. Because, Joe, it's here. It's finally happening. Week 1 NFL preseason on deck tonight. On the
goodbye to your family.
The newly acquired Mickey ears on top of the NFL Network. Let's go. We got Colts and Ravens, Bengals, Eagles, Raiders, and the Seahawks. And then tomorrow, and we'll talk to Mike Kaye of the Charlotte Observer about this in about 25 minutes, we got the Cleveland Browns and the Carolina Panthers. And a new approach for the Carolina Panthers in the preseason. They're actually going to go through the process of, playing their starters. Novel concept to use the preseason to work
somewhere
with your starters.
Somewhere Matt Rule curses handsome Dave Canales'.
Well, Canales didn't do it last year. He didn't do it last year either. It maybe added to a little bit of a slow start. But we're going to talk to Mike Kaye about that a little bit later on. Now, again, I say this, week 1 NFL preseason's on tonight. So, Joe, yet another indication that you and your family are about to just go into your separate silos because football is on. There's other indicators to let you know that football is around the corner. People are coming back to college campuses, right? You got orientation. You just moved James back in at ECU, which also means your timeline is now getting fed Rush Talk.
We're back.
Are we back?
We are so back.
We're back on Rush Talk, dude. You need a timeline cleanse, dude.
So this is combining a lot of my interests.
A lot of stuff that you like. So this is Central Florida, some sorority.
So come on, told y'all I was gonna bump like this. Y'all didn't think that I could bump like this. Said I told y'all I was gonna bump like this. Turn around and I'm all my ladies.
Don't know who these are supposed to be appealing to.
They're appealing not for you. They're not meant for you.
Okay, well,
they're not meant for you.
They're doing a good job of appealing to me.
You again, you need a timeline cleanse, my man. You really do. You know, like
there's no doubt, but
my
I don't
algorithm-
understand the mindset of the 19-year-old woman who's looking at this going, oh, I want to work the stripper pole too. Let me go work. This is where I want to join.
It's being part of something. Camaraderie.
What?
Camaraderie. Social media dominance. Being a part of something. Part of a team. That's what it's
You've
about.
explained this one to me before.
It ain't for you. It ain't for the dudes on campus.
The alternate uniforms.
It has
You're right.
nothing to do with
You're
that.
right.
It ain't for you. You really need a timeline cleanse. We got to get that off your timeline, Joe. Do I need to start feeding you more jelly roll content? Some bluegrass covers? Should I send that to you?
I got some doozies in there for you today.
Now I will admit,
Not many better than that.
I know. I will admit that my algorithm has been taken over by this bizarre millennial version of boomer humor.
Okay.
Which I don't quite understand, but that's another conversation for another day. But yeah, man, the rush talk stuff from Paul. If this isn't Giglio's feed, his algorithm is scary. Ken, you're not doing yourself any favors. I sent him some. Hashtag football is back. Ken, you're not helping here, man, because you're screwing up your algorithm and you're screwing up Giglio's algorithm. Okay. So enough with that stuff. Enough with that stuff. But if you needed more indications that football is back, and sorry, kids, Daddy doesn't have time to spend with you because I need to think about who's making the 53-man roster. It's also officially football season in Chapel Hill. I've seen an uptick in social media content coming out of Chapel Hill as they're getting ready to start their season. And this one, Joe, add this to the pantheon with our state. We were joking earlier about
Forged in Carolina blue.
what was it? Can you remind me what Rising Defiantly was?
They had the arena pop up from the ground.
Oh,
And it said NC State rising defiantly in the triangle.
So
Which
this
was a
was
direct ripoff of LSU football rising defiantly
Gotcha.
in Death
well,
Valley.
wasn't our state a ripoff of
Mississippi State.
Okay.
Correct.
It's all remixes, man.
Hey,
It's all remixes. See,
ain't no new ideas.
Mississippi State was ding, 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 ding.
Mhm.
See, it's all different. So here's Carolina. This was published in the week, earlier in the week. Forged in Carolina blue. Something tells me that this is a soft launch of that Hulu show that they're trying to sell, right? Because remember, they were supposed to do some sort of Hard Knocks style. And right off the bat, it's got that
Okay.
Hard Knocks intro
Trees look good. The
Oh,
water
man.
tower,
Let's see
the
what we got
Smith
here.
Center.
In Chapel Hill, the cicadas sing from the trees.
They do not, cicadas do not sing. They drone and they're annoying and it
Is
drives
this our
you
Pappy
nuts.
guy narrating?
Is it right, Thompson?
But beyond the walls of Keenan Memorial Stadium,
No, that's not right, Thompson.
Okay.
Right Thompson has a little bit of a deeper.
It's all right. And Vern Lundquist had a baby.
Very,
Yeah.
very much so. Okay, hold on. Let me go back here. Sorry. Let's
good.
Let's just play this.
Yeah.
Let me play it from the jump.
in Chapel Hill, the cicadas sing from the trees. But beyond the walls of Keenan Memorial Stadium, where blades of grass bow beneath a merciless sun, a different rhythm pounds. Control, relentless, a drumbeat for what's to come. An all-time football mind has come south, bringing with him a doctrine forged in cold New England winters. And now,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This is some chat GPT bullshit
Yes,
right here.
Thank
man.
you. I was about to say that reeks of
Doctrine forged in the cold New England winter.
Man, I love this.
When the lone wolf dies, the pack survives.
Fueled on clam chowder and Narragansett.
reshaped in Carolina blue. The process has begun, and in the dead heat of summer, Carolina football is being forged.
Let's go. Are you hype?
The grass bows. I will give Carolina credit. Like they are like as the kids like to say, there's like a sneak diss.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're sneak dissing NC State. They can't get Bill Belichick to say anything about NC State.
No.
When you start talking about turf grass management, there's only one school you're talking about, and that is NC State. And never mind that it's NC State grads who run their turf grass management program. That's a direct shot. The blades of grass bow.
So is Dave Dorn, back at Carter Finley Stadium saying those pieces of shit are talking? Is that what's happening right now? Now look. Kid, much like the Rush talk is not for you. It's not for me.
Who the fuck is this for?
That is for the Carolina fans, man.
Okay, yeah. Paul looks like he's
ready to go, man. That speaks
Paul's
to
gonna get the band outfit out. Look, roll out them Tar Heel Warriors.
Yeah,
he's got
I sing a Zumba, baby. I sing a Zumba.
Roll them down. Sorry.
Tar Heel Warriors.
Sorry.
So this is for one thing we know about Carolina fans, and Carolina fans will be the first to admit it. You got to pump them up. You got to tell them how great that campus is, how beautiful everything is, how great the blue is. See, that's an admission where Mike Lombardi screwed up talking about, I know we got a soft blue. Now they're forged in blue. Forged in blue, Joe.
Can we get this narrator to do an intro video for the Sports Podcast Festival for us?
I got to find out how it is.
Okay.
But it's also very NFL media coded. You could tell that Bill Belichick probably has somebody in NFL films who helped out with the narration and the cut. Right. It all looks really, really good. And if
autumn wind is a pyre,
that's what it is, right?
John Facenda from the grave.
But one thing though that I am curious about, if we can be serious for a moment about Carolina football and Bill Belichick, you're doing all this, and I still don't know jack shit about your team. Okay, so like Stephen Belichick makes an appearance yesterday. Steve Belichick had press availability at after practice, and let me see if I can pull it up on YouTube here real quick. Steve Belichick press conference, and I fast forwarded to just a question. It's more of the same, like, can you believe you're here type thing? Can you believe you're here? Can you believe your dad is sitting here coaching? And I get it. This is
what does he wear?
This is Steve's.
Okay, it's a Tar Heel.
It's a Tar Heel.
Okay,
it's Steve's opportunity to talk to the media.
Tied to the NFL for 50 years almost, and also along with that, do you think the time when you came out there to Washington and hung out with you guys, like really opened his eyes maybe to becoming a college head coach? Like how would you say you saw that from your perspective?
So the first part of the question, no. I didn't see it coming. And to the second part, I take all the credit for him being in college. That's all me. No, I mean, I just think that for my dad, he loves coaching football. That's his passion. And so this opportunity presented itself. I don't know how it all went down, but I was as surprised as everybody else to hear, hey, I'm going to North Carolina. I was like, okay. But no, it was definitely, a little interesting when that happened, but he just loves to coach football, loves to develop players, loves to be around the game. It's been that way my whole life, and it hasn't changed yet.
So that's a portion of Steve Belichick's press conference yesterday, or his press availability. I watched the majority of it. I'll say this, unlike his dad, he has a little bit more of a personality. As you saw there, he cracked some jokes, all that kind of stuff, right? But I get back to my central premise. Most of the conversation around Tar Heel football right now isn't about actual football. We're still processing the fact that Bill Belichick is the head coach. Okay, it's been covered. We're here. Let's go. And two things have, yesterday we talked about yellow flags from Hubert Davis, right?
Mm-hmm.
After they beat Gardner-Webb, he didn't like what he had seen, and he talked about various yellow flags. And I'm wondering if I'm getting caught up in classic Bill Belichick, I want you to know nothing about my team, and I'm going to sandbag, because that's something that Bill Belichick has been known to do. He's not the first coach to do it, but he's very, very good about making sure you don't know squat about squat when it comes to his football stuff and what he's trying to do and everything else. So either he's sandbagging what he has, or there actually are some yellow flags and what those expectations for Carolina football should be from the jump in their first game against TCU, which will be on Monday night, nationally televised. And two reasons why I say this, and they come from two different media, pieces of media that I consumed in the last 24 hours. The first one was Bud Elliott on the Cover 3 podcast. So I'm driving around yesterday because I had to get a new stick for Jacob and took him over to Wake Comp for some skill stuff. And I'm listening to Cover 3, just catching up on stuff. I'm listening to their win totals episode featuring North Carolina and NC State. So they get into the stuff about Carolina. It's all the stuff that we've talked about. The schedule is super easy. You know, they could lose against TCU, but the follow-ups to that are very much there to get to the over and get to 8 wins.
Yeah.
But Bud said something that I thought was interesting. Bud said that he's starting to look at the juicy under, right? And get away from the schedule because he's been hearing from other coaches that the Belichick brain trust is acting as though they were the first to come up with getting big guys who were fast in college football. Like they're like nobody ever thought to do this. And the point being made by the guys that Bud had talked to were, what, do you think we don't know that? You don't think other college football programs know that? Could it be that they're getting what's available to them, and that when you actually look at what's available to them, it's not as good as you might think it is? Obviously, you got to coach them up and all that kind of stuff. And that gets back to what Belichick talked about yesterday, is that it's all still a process. He doesn't know what to expect and all that kind of stuff. A little bit of sandbagging. Then I heard Heather Dinich today on various ESPN platforms. The one that I caught her on was on Get Up. And they got to Bill Belichick in North Carolina, which is the point. You know, otherwise, would you ever really hear about North Carolina football and Get Up on a random Thursday?
No.
No, absolutely not. So check mark. What they're trying to accomplish is happening. You're talking about Carolina football in August on ESPN proper on Get Up. And Heather said they're an enigma. They're a mystery. We don't know anything about this team. So how can we talk about them eloquently when we know nothing about them? And even the coaching staff is not really giving much up. So it gets back to the central question. Is this an actual yellow flag going into the season that we're going to have to readjust and maybe even take the under if you're a betting person? Or is this classic, I know you're making a face, or is this classic sandbagging that's coming out of Chapel Hill?
I don't think it's classic sandbagging. I think Bill Belichick, this is exactly what he wants you to know about his football team.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. If he could hide everything forever, he would.
I'm going to agree with you on that.
Legitimately, he would. No, I disagree, though, that we don't know anything about them. I disagree on that front. Jordan Shipp, yes, it was a bowl game, but we saw Jordan Shipp in a bowl game have a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Culliver, I know, I get it. It was the state game. Maybe you forgot it or whatever. Those are two pretty good receivers. Okay. Davion Gauss was Hampton's backup. The pedigree from that high school football team
It's excellent.
I'm not backing off that point.
Makes back, yeah.
And they didn't go out and get another one. That's a great tell right there. Like if they thought Max Johnson was it, guess what? You don't go out and get other people. So they looked at Gauss and said, yeah, here's how we're going to help him.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get a really good offensive line, which they prioritized.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to get a mobile quarterback who can do some of this, moving people around, do a little spread, do some read stuff.
Yeah.
And really control the game that way. I don't think you're going to see them throwing the ball around the yard Tom Brady style.
No, I don't see
even
that.
Matt Castle style, even Mac Jones style. I think you're going to see them do this a little bit of a throwback, a lot of play action, keeping the other team off balance. And I think those skill players that I just mentioned, Gio Lopez, we know as much about him as we do the kid at Tulane. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And people are creaming their shorts over the kid at Tulane at Duke.
I know.
Okay.
With Dairy Menza, right?
So, I mean, that's college football now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do we know about any of these fucking teams?
That is a.
Let me ask you something. Ohio State, they're going to be the preseason number 1 or number 2?
The football poll came out.
We don't even know who their quarterback is.
Right.
Okay. We don't even know who their running backs are.
Mm-hmm.
We know they have the best receiver in the country.
Now, what I would
Gauss's teammate, CJ Bailey's teammate.
What I would push back on though, what I would say
to you though is
I know what Ryan Day and Ohio State are trying to do.
Sure.
I know what Kirby
Smart. They have a higher level of talent. They have a higher level of talent. But what I'm getting at with you with this sandbagging thing, I don't think he's sandbagging. I think he's looking at this going, I don't have a Rodney Harrison. I don't have a Teddy Bruschi. I don't have a Vrabel, a Tom Brady, a Julian Edelman. I don't have guys who know my culture.
Right.
Okay. And where that's important is I do think there's a legitimate opportunity for them to lose to TCU in that opener. And I think that's where his kind of holding back is, because he doesn't know how this group is going to react if they do lose that first game. I think Lombardi gave this away a couple of weeks ago when he said, by the end of the year, you're going to see us playing at a high level. And I think that's right. Every coach, every great coach, and for all of my misgivings about Bill Belichick's record without Tom Brady, he's a great football coach. And every great coach in every great sport, their team gets better as the year goes along. I guarantee you this team will get better as the year goes along.
Those are with pros, with contracts on the line,
Sure.
all that kind of
different motivations.
And,
I get that.
And that's the other great unknown with in the NFL. I never doubt your ability to actually play. You can absorb, they might have a room of kids that can absorb everything that they're teaching because football is football. But the question that I don't know is, do they actually have guys who can play? I was talking to Michael Felder about this at ACC Kickoff. Felder, if you don't know, he does, Hand in the Dirt podcast. He's a former Carolina defensive back. And he's like, yeah, man, I knew every concept. He's just, Felder, he's drawing up stuff.
Sure.
Right. He's like, I just couldn't play. And that's what you run into in college. So that's another thing that I'll be curious to see how Bill Belichick handles that too. But there's a lot riding. The last thing I'll say about this before we move to housekeeping and move on to the Panthers and whatnot. They better win that damn game against TCU, because you can sell out Keenan. And people can show up if you don't give them a reason to show up. And there's a lot riding on this because everything is centrally focused around football, getting better at football, positioning yourself potentially for the SEC, which is, as we know, something that the people behind the scenes are trying to do. They put this out here on social media. I believe this was earlier today. And they're calling it Chapel Thrill Game Day. They're always reinventing the game day experience in Chapel Hill because, as we know, it is difficult to get a consistent game day experience literally on campus with a hospital and parking being what it is, right? So they put out these renderings of what this Chapel Thrill stuff is going to be. They're going to have established tents for tailgating. They're going to have your typical activations with food and everything else, but they're showing you the renderings of all the tents, all the availabilities and everything else. All of this costs money.
Looks like Tennessee, by the way.
All of this is also there to prove to the SEC and others we are about football. But there's one thing we know, and Carolina fans will be the first ones to tell you. We've gone through this before about we're trying to commit to football. And if you give them more of the same, yet another 8-win season, 7-win season, there's going to be a little bit of, we've seen this before. What are we doing here? It's just more of the same. What's Hubert Davis doing? And I'm not even going to bring up the picture that they posted the other day. Hubert Davis and Bill Belichick just talking ball. Somewhere, I'm sure Hubert Davis going, man, you took all the money from my program, So it's like it's an interesting time in Chapel Hill, and there's a lot riding on the success of Bill Belichick, and the language coming out is one of tempering expectations. I find that very, very curious.
Housekeeping.
Brought to you by Enovana. Check them out online at enovana.com. Green cleaning solutions.
If you have mess inside your mansion or trash in your cabana, get it green clean with Enovana.
Let's rip through some housekeeping here. Speaking of college football, we're a couple of weeks away from week 0, which means we got to turn the loop off. I'm an amateur over here. We got the sport. This is what you can expect at the Sports Podcast Festival. Amateur hour. No, I'm kidding. We're going to have a good time at the Rialto, August 23rd. Get your tickets today. If you're a former OG fan subscriber, since we sunsetted the premium option, check your email. Dimitri sent out an email with your opportunity to get 1 free ticket if you are a former OG fan subscriber.
Oh, nice.
So go check your email, look for that from OG fans, and go claim your free ticket for this. In the meantime, you can go buy tickets right now at therialto.com. We're going to be there. Big Screen Sports, Split Zone Duo, OG Light in the house. Merch from Home Field, which I love the long sleeve shirt that we're going to have. Butcher's Market in the house as well. It's going to be a great time, and it's all going to be at the Rialto on August 23rd. Also want you to fill out the Ovies and Giglio survey. Go to oviesandgiglio.com. Take that survey. Just tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you want to hear more of, that sort of thing. Help us understand you so we can make the show better.
Yeah.
And then...
Who did this?
Hannah.
Nice.
Then we got 3 prizes for that, including this hat.
Whoa.
See this hat?
Oh, yeah.
This hat's in the prize pack, one of the prize packs.
Yeah, we can't say.
We can't
It's
say.
a mystery hat.
It's a super, super mystery hat. But if you're watching on YouTube, it's this hat. So just keep that in mind. So go to oviesandgiglio.com. You'll find the link to the survey.
Holy
Go
smokes,
fill it
this
out.
is good.
Yeah, Hannah's professional. What do you always tell? What do you always tell me?
Polish. Just a little.
That's what we're trying to do. That is what we're trying to do. Yesterday, we went 2.5 hours straight with sound bites. I was winded. You know what I did? Went to Happy and Hale. Got myself an Almond Brothers. Got myself a little pick-me-up. All thanks to our friends at Happy.
Let's take a break. Let's take a hockey break. Brought to you by Happy and Hale.
Download the app. Use that promo code OG25 to save 25% off your online order. You can pick it up and be ready to go. Roback, who's bringing you the Ovies and Giglio Golf Classic. While you can still take advantage of the promo code OG20, and they've dropped some new stuff, a new NC State polo, a Charlotte polo. It's almost hoodie season. Use that promo code OG20 at roback.com. But unfortunate news, Joe.
We have filled up the OG Roback Golf Classic.
Amazing.
We have. But now part of that is we try to keep it. There's a cap, 22 groups, because we want to play this thing in 4 hours. And that's what we do. So I can't promote something as the fastest Super Bowl tournament in the world without it actually delivering as the fastest Super Bowl tournament in the world.
So in the meantime, just go to roback.com, use that promo code OG20. Maybe we can do like a supplementary putt-putt classic.
We could.
I would do that.
That would be nice.
We could have some fun with that. And of course, our guy, Gordon Miller. Visit him online, millerlending.com/theOG, or call him directly at 919-447-3377. I can sit here and tell you about Miller Lending and interest rates and not paying closing costs and saving money, or Gordon can do it himself. He's joining us now on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Gordon, what up, man? Look at you with your aviators, my dude.
You know, I'm in a spot where there's actually sun. I think you guys are getting a little bit of water down there.
It's been raining for like 8 straight days, man. It's nuts.
It's something like that. But and as far as our work with the OG, we Joe could promote it, but I'll do it better. The main thing about our no closing cost program, and for those that don't know, we've been the leader in no closing cost loans for forever. The other part, Joe, of wearing sunglasses is it hides the age line. So if I cover my neck and I pull my ears back,
Gordon, you're gonna have to start getting into turtlenecks, bro, because
I'm working.
Or
I'm
out
working
a beard.
on it.
You grow out a beard.
I'm working on it.
One of the two, man.
Yeah, I'm sort of in between on that, but the thing that's fascinating in terms of mortgages in the industry that I chose was just to look as an example at what happened last Friday. And for those that don't know, we had a big surprise revision to the nation's non-farm payroll numbers, which indicated that the job market was a lot slower than everybody seemed to anticipate, which essentially that day brought rates down a quarter. The expectation now is back for a rate cut in September. I think you're going to see a little bit of a repeat of what happened last August when we got down to about 6.1, and then we inched back because of different policies and tariffs and all sorts of chaos. But the whole point of that with timing is just that if you pay nothing, a couple things happen. Number one, you've got the money that you would have used on closing costs to put to better use for anything. The other part of that program that made it beneficial back in the 80s for me was the fact that you could go ahead and refinance for smaller drops. The banks always used to say 2% drop before it makes sense, or a 1% drop now before it makes sense. The making sense part was the closing cost, which doesn't make any sense. That, you shouldn't refinance for a half a point because you're probably going to pay 10 grand. As Mr. Ovies can attest,
yes,
you pay nothing, and you pay nothing, and that's what's driving me nuts right now. Is on from several standpoints, is just that the industry has gotten so cost heavy that it's really made it hard for folks to afford a home. And when you reach out to us and inquire about a no cost loan, should you select one, and we've had several listeners of the OG already close with us, then at that point you get a great gift basket as well. So the one thing we can't do is we can't waive anything beyond zero.
Mhm.
So we've added the fact just for OG listeners,
Just
you
for
do
OG
have to
listeners.
select that box.
It-
Yes.
One thing I
But-
want to bring up before we say goodbye, our friends at Hometown Realty that you can check out at myhtr.com, they've pointed out to me and Giglio that things have kind of plateaued with the housing market. Some people will even tell you in the area it's just simply stagnant and that people are waiting for the rates to come down. I think you mentioned September, right? And this is something we cannot stress enough. If there's a house that you want to get now, it probably makes sense to go ahead and get it now with the rate. And then in 6 months, when the rates come down, you can refinance and save the money, everything else. And you're beating the frenzy that when the rates come down. So it's all of our corporate champions working together, and millerlending.com/COG can help you do that. Correct?
Yes, and what they're pointing out essentially is that demand is horrible right now. So you're seeing supply grow, and nationally demand is way down. And it's not that folks are necessarily waiting on the Fed to cut rates, because there's no guarantee the mortgage rates would come down as a result. We had that a year ago, but leading up to the Fed meeting is when we normally see a good portion of that drop. And it's just the whole premise that drives me nuts. People pay 15 grand to get 7. 6 months later, the rates are now 6.5. I hate the concept. I wish people would never pay closing cost again, but definitely check with us just to get an explanation of it if you have any questions, because again, we're seeing nothing but closing costs going up and up and up, which
it's crazy.
doesn't make any sense.
What do
Doesn't
you
make any
hate?
sense.
What do you hate more, Gordon? Closing costs or the fact that your Tigers peaked in May?
Okay, we don't have time for this. We don't have time for this.
It's a tie. It's a tie. We'll cover it next time.
I had to get it to. I had to get it one out. I mean,
why you gotta do
my team and his team, they both peaked in May. What are we
I
gonna
know.
do? What are we gonna do?
I peaked at 40. What can we do?
Well, at least it wasn't high school. Gordon Miller,
No.
millerlending.com/the OG. Go there, take it to close, get that Raleigh Wine Shop gift basket. And of course, you can also get that polo from us from Roback. Thanks, Gordon.
You got it. Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Joining us on the Eastern Automotive Group hotline from the Charlotte Observer, he covers the Carolina Panthers, the hot Carolina Panthers. He is Mike Kaye. Mike, what's up, man?
I mean, following Gordon Miller after all that, and I feel like I learned a ton there. Whoa, what an act to follow. I might have to give him a call, to be honest with you.
Call
Go
Gordon.
right ahead.
Call him.
They'll help you.
millerlending.com/the OG. He's going to help you save some money and refinance. Like what you learned a lot. I need to learn a lot from you, man. It's not like fans can go watch the camp right now. They couldn't watch that joint practice with the Cleveland Browns yesterday. And all from you on social media, I'm listening to my guys on WFNZ in Charlotte. Like, people are hype, man. People are hype. Bryce is looking good. Wide receiver competition is looking good. Hopefully nobody gets any more car accidents. There's vibes. There's vibes, Mike.
Is this where I have to be like the Northeast sensibilities and be like,
why are you so Philadelphia, man?
Well, no, I think this is more New Jersey than Philadelphia.
Fair.
I think there's a lot of promise here. Like, if things go right and everything comes up Canales, I think this team can inch towards a playoff berth. Like, that 7 seed with 7 playoff spots, I think is doable. That said, they do need a lot to fall their way. They've got a road trip-centric start to the season. They have a very late bye. There's a lot. I mean, they've got to stay healthy. And, and obviously Bryce needs to cook. And so right now they've got him, he's not using Fisher Price, plates to cook with. He's using, I don't know, whatever. Enter if you have a sponsor that does ceramic plates, go for it. Yeah. But
he's going to Replacements Ltd. there off of out in Greensboro. That's where he's
going.
Boom,
there you go. Bryce looks good.
Yeah.
And I like that he's challenging himself in practice. The thing that gets lost in like all of these highlights and whatever, and you and I have talked about it, is practice is the time to push yourself. And I see a lot of people on social media react to interceptions by Bryce like they are to his detriment. No, you want him to make those mistakes now, or you want him to try things now just to see if he can.
Mm-hmm.
He's been fine. Like, I think the most encouraging thing about this training camp. Nobody's like really like, I mean, there are some backup players that are kind of overachieving, but no one's like high variancing this thing. Like nobody who you expect to be really good has been terrible. Nobody who you expected to be great has been a supernova. I think it's been consistency. I think it's been uneventful, which is a good thing in my experience in covering the NFL as a beat writer for over 10 years.
You mentioned challenging yourself. I'm pretty sure I think you wrote this story with the lead talking about how it was an incomplete pass, yet everybody was smiling.
Yeah,
because it was him and Tedero McMillan, Bryce Young and McMillan working on some things, and they saw something there. And even though it was a drop pass on 7-on-7, it gave you an indication of this is progress. This is a group that they can work with. There's promise here. That's what this is about. Now, can that promise actually be fulfilled once we start getting into the regular season? Can they come out of the gate starting quicker than what we saw last year with the disaster that threw everything off, right? That's the thing that we will all find out together. But I would have to say, you being there seems to be a little bit more focus on that promise that there's truly something here you can work on.
Yeah, and I didn't specifically watch the offense yesterday. That was my colleague, Alex Etlow. Great follow on Twitter, Alex Etlow, 05 on Twitter. We co-wrote that story with Scott Fowler. But yeah, the McMillan Young thing it's real. Like there are things there. I think he's going to be beneficial. Typically, smaller quarterbacks benefit from having bigger targets. I think you're seeing that in practice with McMillan, with Leggett, with Jalen Coker, with JT Sanders, who in my opinion has been the MVP on offense throughout training camp. But a lot of this is Tetris. Like they are trying to, you brought it up like an incompletion, but if you see that something works, the next time you're up, when you get a full bill of health or a full stack of coins or whatever analogy you want to use, like, how to attack it. And I think that's how they kind of feel. I think they're really feeling this out, and that's all positive and whatever, but you got to do it in the games.
Whether it's Matt Rule or Frank Reich or Handsome Dave, the Panthers recently have been hesitant to actually show us anything in the preseason. Does it have they stated that we are going to see more of the starters in the preseason this year?
We will see more of the starters. It'll be select starters. I don't expect J.C. Horn or Derek Brown to play. I wouldn't.
Nor should they ever play in the preseason ever. Yes.
No.
Okay. Go.
I wouldn't be shocked if like guys like Ashawn Robinson and Taylor Moton are on the sideline and maybe are used more in the Texans practice. I mean, part of the preseason is you want to get out alive. You don't want to. But I mean, to your point, all of that hesitancy has led to so much success over the years. So, I mean, I guess like, I feel like every time we come on here, we do bits because the bits don't get old because they're constantly ongoing. And so I think they learned from last year a little bit. Canales would like to see his select starters play roughly 10 to 12 snaps or have a very long progressive drive. But I mean, you never know. I mean, I've heard stuff at press conferences and then people do the opposite. I'll believe it when I see it. They've got to, make good on it because I tell you, the fan base, it was very told you so when they started off 0-2 and were getting clobbered. So.
Not just the fan base, me too, man.
Look, I'll tell you this. I've seen it in every which way in the preseason and training camp. Guys operate this way, guys operate that way. I don't think it has that big of a turn, but when you see the proof, look, if they played, they're not stopping that Saints team, whether they, you know what I mean? That was like a full on throttling. There's no way that them playing in the preseason completely, negates the Saints just absolutely shocking them out of the building. But what I would say is it helps guys from a physicality standpoint because these practices are not particularly physical outside of the developmental periods when it's like, hey, you're a third string guy, give us your best effort. You know what I mean? So it's not two-hand touch, but it also is closer to patty cake than to tackling to the ground.
That's why I get a little wary of how we talk about this stuff. Like you said, you were focused on the defense yesterday. I mean, for me, really, it's availability on defense more than anything else.
Sure.
Like everybody's got to stay healthy. But then you start to go back and you start to look at what that defense was. Injuries aside, it was last in a lot of categories. What was it? I downloaded the football almanac yesterday to start getting in the mode for the preseason and everything else. And I'm just going to read directly from Mike Tanier's piece about the Panthers, talking about defensive DVOA. And 31st in passing DVOA, last in adjusted line yards, 27th in adjusted sack rate, 30th in stopping opponents' number one receivers, 31st against deep passes, last against passes over the middle, 31st on first downs, 30th on third downs, 30th in the red zone. It goes on and on and on. Some of that is related to availability, but that's also speaking to just how much this unit needs to be rebuilt. So what does it look like now, availability aside?
Well, I think the two stats that I point out that could probably save you maybe a couple of seconds there is they allowed the most rushing yards since 1980, and they allowed the most points ever in the NFL last year. So, listen, they have put a lot of assets, both cost controlled and, cost concerning, into that defensive front. They bring in Turk Warden, they bring in Bobby Brown, they bring in Patrick Jones, Trevin Merrick, they draft Nick Scorton, they draft, Princey Uman-Milan, Cam Jackson. Like, they have put a lot into this defense, but like you said, if they're losing Derek Brown again, I mean, Derek Brown's injury was catastrophic for this defensive front because A'Shawn Robinson, who is actually a very underrated player, played more snaps than he ever should have he played probably 2 seasons worth of snaps in 1 season last year. And so now they're going to use more of a rotation. I think you're going to see more of a hybrid front from this defensive line and this front seven. And listen, like Dan Morgan straight up told me on the record, he goes, last year, linebackers had to play with dudes in their laps all season.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you got Bobby Brown, who is scary big, and Cam Jackson, who's scary big. And then you've got Wharton, whose legs are tree trunks, and he's a pretty good pass rusher. You got Pat Jones, who's big, who can play anywhere. I think they feel a lot better about this defense, and I think they'll be a lot better. They had a very good run production yesterday against the Browns, who have 3 all-pro level offensive linemen on that line who played against this defense without Derek Brown yesterday. So
I didn't realize they had given up that many punts. I didn't realize their point differential was that bad last year.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing too. And I think something that's missed in all of this is, aggregators and YouTubers come out with their stuff is that when Bryce Young's not going to have to compete for, have to throw for 300 yards every game and put up 35 points every game, he will probably benefit from that as well.
Yeah.
Just as much as T. Mac McMillan and all these other guys. Like,
well, I think what you're referencing though is that I think there is, when you're the Panthers and you have not had anything to really be excited about in a very long time, right? And you get glimpses of it last year. Nobody wants to hear any sort of context over the final stretch of games and how close they were and how hard it is to replicate that in multiple overtimes, or you had multiple turnovers that resulted in great field position that you had to take advantage of, but those things have to play out a very specific way for you to either be in the game or come out on top of it. Or in the case of the Eagles and the Chiefs, just how much of that was, hey man, they're going toe to toe with these teams versus they weren't really going to be throwing the defensive playbook at Bryce Young in those games. You see what I'm saying? So there's all sorts of stuff that go along with that, which gets to your point about the aggregators. They're not interested in any of that stuff. What they're interested in is selling you, the fan, selling you, the person who's just mindlessly scrolling that day, as Joe likes to joke, no quarterback in the NFL was better on 4th down in the 4th quarter with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Like a very hyper-specific stat that you can go, man, look at that. See, there's something there. It's all hope trafficking, man. Everybody's just packing in that hopium, lighten it up, and hopefully they're going to get something out of it this season. And the other reason why I think that's the case, Mike, is because you talk about the playoffs. The only reason why the Panthers might be in playoff contention is because look at the rest of the NFC South, right?
Right.
It is garbage right now. And that's
outside of the Bucks. I think the Bucks are pretty good. But yeah.
I think Tampa and Atlanta are fine.
I don't know about Atlanta, man. I don't know about Atlanta.
Atlanta feels like the wild
for
card.
8 weeks or whatever the hell it was.
Okay.
10 weeks, 12 weeks. Shit.
And look, I don't mean to hate on people trying to make a buck. I'm just saying, like, I come on your guys' show and you kind of, and we bring out the nuance, right? Like,
Right.
I feel like I listen to some radio shows and some just YouTube only shows, and it's like, so Bryce Young did great today, right? Without understanding why he did great and why there is a situation that's brewing there.
Yeah.
And so I just think, like, there's more nuance to what Bryce went through last year and frankly 2 years ago than just simply, oh, he didn't have any weapons. Well, when the defense can't stop the run, which has been an issue since Evero took over as defensive coordinator, you don't get as many chances. You don't get as much clock. There is a sense of urgency constantly. So you make mistakes. You run out of time. It's cyclical, right? Like, I mean, if the defense is garbage and they can't get off the field, you're not going to get as many, opportunities to avenge the defense, frankly. And so I think if they can hold teams to, I know this might be a stretch for them after like allowing, 30 points a game. If they can hold teams to 23 points, I think Bryce Young can lead this team to 27 points regularly.
Yeah.
It's just once you get past 30, the odds of winning consistently with that type of it's just hard.
They were like a bizarro sunny day team last year because once it started going wrong, it went wrong quickly.
To me, the biggest takeaway from that final stretch wasn't the fact that they got wins, is that they were able to bounce back and not have it go completely off the rails after during that run, they got hammered. Well, there were 2 games in that mix. What was it? The Dallas game where Bryce Young got
smashed,
manhandled in that game.
The Tampa game, I was the only local guy in the press box, and it felt like it was like a funeral in there. Like, I'm trying to
you poor bastard, you got to cover this thing.
Hey, Giglio's actually, we just went through this yesterday. He was the only sad jabroni at Boston College for an NC State Boston College basketball game. We've all been there, right?
I mean, it was just, I'm looking back at PR behind me and I'm like, I don't know what to say, man. Like, this is, you can perfect a losing byline very well here, but like, that was a loss that was like, it was over in the first 3 minutes. Like, you could tell, like, it was just done. And I think what was so encouraging about Atlanta is every time they got hit in the mouth, they took a swipe at the right next. I mean, and I think ending so emphatically with that win, granted, it was a shootout, kind of tells you, like, hey, if this offense is clicking, they can do some stuff. If this defense doesn't allow 30 points a game, they can put themselves in position to win. The safety play last year, they had one safety NFL caliber safety last year. The rest of those guys shouldn't have even been on the field, or they should have just been playing special teams. They realize that. Merrick is going to be a Swiss Army knife for them. They really like Lathan Ransom. They really like Damani Richardson. We'll see if they look into a veteran eventually. At corner, Shaw Smith-Wade has been easily the best performer on defense, in my opinion. He's making plays every single day. They feel good about that. Like, Trevin Wallace has done a really good job getting sacks off blitzes. I really think that it's going to be similar to what he did in college, where he can feel out space and attack, with Christian Roseboom having the green dot and focusing more on getting everybody lined up. I think, Nick Gordon's going to be something. I think I've told you this guys before. He, to me, is the most intriguing defensive player they have drafted since J.C. Horn. And I think his upside is exponential. He doesn't turn 21 until this month. I know we haven't reported a ton on him in practice, mainly because he's only practiced twice in pads. Yesterday, he looked really good in coverage, in space. The first padded practice, he was just crushing down on tight ends like it was like they were, a Butterfinger that he just had in his hand. Like, I mean, this kid's going to be disruptive. I don't know if he's going to be like this sack, savant, but he is going to be a definitive run defender. And I think Princely Uman-Milan is basically Josh Sweat, only 5 years younger, and he's bending. Like, he's got like a Gumby-like bending ability. It's wild. So
earmuffs, Joe.
Okay.
Mike, I'm a degenerate. I enjoy gambling on the NFL preseason.
Boy. Okay.
I am now looking back at these last 2 years and getting angry. Who is the Z string quarterback who is going to piss me off this year? Because I believe Matt Corral's long gone, and I think my guy Jack Plummer is long gone. So what shitty, conference you?
I mean, Jack Plummer's back despite Ethan Garber's past efforts.
Oh, please let me know when he plays so I can just house the freaking.
I'm almost positive he will play at least a half against the Browns.
Okay.
And
I got the Browns, whatever the number is then.
I don't think Andy Dalton's going to play more than the starters, if that makes sense. Like, I could see him getting 1 or 2 drives a game. So if that's 4 drives a game for Bryce Young and Andy Dalton, then Jack Plummer's probably getting between 6 and 8 drives. So
how is Jack Plummer back? Like, what on what planet is Jack Plummer?
Well, they liked him on the practice squad. They think he's really smart. He knows how to service the first 2 guys behind the scenes. I wish he's a small guy. He actually has I was thinking about this earlier, and I wanted to tweet it out, but I felt like it would take too much to explain the tweet. Okay. He's got kind of like a Joe Flacco, Nick Foles sort of like, hey, I'm a guy in my early 30s to mid 30s backup quarterback vibe. He's like 26, but like
he's an old soul is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, he also kind of has like a because I covered Joe Flacco in Philly when he was there for a summer, and they have like a weirdly similar body type. And so I was like, I just noticed that I've never seen Joe Flacco and Jack Plummer in a room. Oh. And I mean, it's whatever. He actually threw an incredible ball to Bryson Tremaine, the guy you've probably heard of, in the back of the end zone to end practice yesterday. Bryson Tremaine, fun fact, you both have more receiving yards in your NFL careers than he does because he has 1 catch for -2 yards.
Oh, man.
And people are confused whether he's a tight end or a wide receiver because he's like 6'14" and, making grabs.
Mike Kaye, Charlotte Observer, covers the Panthers. Man, we appreciate the time as always. Have fun watching Plummer light it up on Friday night.
I mean, I'm going to have to get a rowback polo to kind of look good in the press box. Look at me. Look, I come on the show. I give you some extra hit and whatever. Anyway.
Hey. I'm going to text you when we're done with the live today.
Give me a size. I got something
We'll get the size and the address, and we'll make sure that works out for you. All right.
I like their logo. Their logo is dope.
What, the rowback logo?
Yeah. What a dope logo. I like that little dog thing.
The little dog right there, man. That's the good stuff. It's actually a solid color polo that I have no problems wearing, which is saying something because I'm not a polo guy for the most part, but I will rock that blue polo.
Hopefully I don't make a mistake this time like I did with the last attire choice that you gave me the option of.
So you know what? That's the other thing I'll do for you. I will make sure you get another hat that does not look something adjacent. So we'll do that for you. All right. All right, man. Mike Kaye, Charlotte Observer. We appreciate the time as always. Be on the lookout for your rowback, okay?
Bye.
All right, man. Take it easy. As we started the show, we have entered the time of the year in which you ask your significant other to look you directly in the eyes and you say, it's time. And they're going to say to you, what do you mean it's time? It's like, it's time to say goodbye because football season is here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see you in 2026. Okay. And
I'll see you after the NCAA tournament.
Right. Sometime in 2026, depending on when my team gets knocked out.
Actually, after the Masters.
But I have a suggestion. Before you do, say bye to the family. Like, sorry, F you kids. Daddy's got to watch football. Take them out to Long Leaf.
Go full Judas. have a meal with them.
The Last Supper. Before you go into your cave. And you say, there's enough milk in the fridge. Don't worry about it. Make sure you get your dad a beer on the way back. Anyway. So you go, make sure it's an OG Light, son. You go to Longleaf and take them out for Last Supper.
Quite an ad that we
I know, right? Hell of an ad. And then you double down on that. Like, okay, fine. You need a little more. I get it. Because as Joe said, it could be I'm not back until April because of the Final Four. How's ice cream sound? Want to go get some ice cream? Let's go get some ice cream.
I was going to say before the rooster crows 3 times.
So you go to Longleaf, you make it a date night, have a great meal, then you cap it off going to our friends at Two Roosters. My mom, I saw my parents yesterday, and my mom was like, so, like, they still have something peanut butter, right?
They do.
And I was like, yes, they brought the peanut butter cookie back. She's like, oh, okay, good. I said, it's missing that fudge ripple that made our flavor, like, really sing, thanks to Jared. But that peanut butter cookie is really, really good. And if you want, like I did last time, I threw some hot fudge on top of it. Yes, I threw hot fudge on top of it.
Good call.
Yeah. So go to Two Roosters. Tell your kids to pipe down. They'll see Dad in April. So here's some ice cream. Actually, you know what? Make it even better. Secret Pint of the Month Club.
It's a secret. I need to go pick mine up.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, all jokes aside, great night out. We're suggesting it to you. Great night out. You go out to Two Roosters, and then you go get you go to Longleaf, you go to Two Roosters to cap that off, and then you're good to go.
Did you see Jared's Willet ice cream this month?
No, I did not.
The Costco hot dogs?
No.
Yeah. He made it.
That's real?
Yes. He made it.
So if I went, so when the show's done.
No, they don't have it. It's just he does it once. It's like a one-off.
I understand that.
Yeah.
So I just can't go get it now, though.
Yeah. If he put a mustard ripple in the Costco hot dog ice cream, I think he would have been onto something. Honestly. Go check it out on their socials, though,
Okay,
on Instagram. Two Roosters on Instagram. When the staff tries it, they're all just like, no.
Next time Jared does that, I need Jared to text me and be like, hey, dude, I'm doing this crazy flavor. Come through.
You would eat it.
I would eat it.
Yes.
I would eat it. Unlike other people go, oh, I can't do that. I will. Okay. So I'm hit me up, man. You got my number. Speaking of football, the last thing you want while you're watching Jake Plummer.
Well, I mean, the best thing you need is the good night's sleep.
Well, you do.
The best way to do that
No.
is get those room darkening shades.
No, see, you're wrong.
Oh, okay.
No. You don't need light interfering with your ability to watch Jake Plummer in real time.
Multiple screens.
That light leak coming through, the little glare coming off the television. No, you don't need that. I need crystal clear, uninterrupted HD hitting my eye sockets while I watch fourth stringers in the fourth quarter of a preseason game on a Friday night. You know how you can prevent that from happening? True blackout shades and curtains from our friends at Bloom & Blinds. After dark, how about completely dark while you watch football? Think of that.
The Ravens are dogs tonight too, by the way.
So after you get done in your football cave,
it's a busy night tonight.
I know
on the apps.
So while you're there in your football cave and you come out all bleary eyed, you're like, no, but it was great. Not a single bit of sunlight coming through. No light pollution coming through. All thanks to our friends at Bloom & Blinds. Check them out. 919-980-9815. Again, that's 919-980-9815. Bloom & Blinds are going to take care of you. To be serious for a moment, you can get 10 or more window treatments, get 10% off. Or if you just have something that needs to be repaired, hit them up. They're going to help you out. Again, that's 919-980-9815. And of course, our friends at Mosquito Authority and Pest Authority. Bugsbite.com is the website. You can bundle and save with Mosquito Authority and Pest Authority. All this rain, all the false fall that's happening, it's going to be gross again.
Yep.
Make sure you get your pest services handled with our friends at bugsbite.com. All right, let's get out of here with some Hey Joe, shall we? Let's hit up the OG sports phone.
919-444-2211. Call the OG sports phone and curse or don't.
All right, of course, the OG sports phone is brought to you by our friends at Nature's Relief. Check them out online at Nature's Relief Hemp Store. sandbagging.com. You know, you've been watching all this football. You are so hyped up about the who's playing tonight? The Ravens and the
Colts.
You're so hyped up about Anthony Richardson takes. And you can't get to sleep. Take a gummy. They got it.
Why is the number so big?
In what?
I know the streak is over, but remember,
I know
John Harbaugh lives to win.
I know
preseason games.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, go to Nature's Relief, naturesreliefhempstore.com. We're going to be there on August 21st out in Garner.
The G.
So come through. Check us out when we hit them up on a Thursday in a couple of weeks. All right, let's get to the OG Sports phone. Let's go to a 919.
Hi, boys. What a show today. It wasn't so brief at two and a half hours, but that was fantastic. It wasn't triangle good. That was OG great. So many memories and behind the scenes. Fedor saying the least of his worries. Triple play, sabotage. I mean, you hit it all. This was great. And by the way, I don't know if it's true, but I read that Bunting as he walked through the tunnel after the last game. He said, free at last, thank God I'm free at last. And I kind of don't doubt that he really said that. But thanks for a great show. And by the way, Ovies, that was pretty funny the other day when it was described as your resting a-hole face. I'm still laughing at that. But thanks, guys. This is a great show today. See you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jeannie.
Yes.
She's referencing when Chris Clark was hanging out, and I had to preface saying, I'm being sincere here. I know I have a sincerity problem. I can't help my face. To which Chris said, yeah, you have a resting asshole face. I'm like, I'll own that. I own that. The John Bunting in the tunnel saying he's free is an urban legend anecdote that I have heard. I'm kind of mad at myself for forgetting that. But I do remember him walking off Wallace
into the
Wade,
truck.
like, screw you guys.
Yep.
I'm out. That's how you go out, man. That's how you go out. John Bunting, legend. All right, let's go back to another 919.
This is Joseph in Wake Forest. Here on Wednesday, I'm listening to this brief history of Triangle Good, and you guys were talking about this Julius Hodge, like he's this and that, and seems like I just remember him balling up his fist and punching that guy in the nuts during a game. Go Heels and have a nice day.
Joseph, it was the
The other way.
It was the other way around. Chris Paul, Wake Forest, was the one who punched Julius Hodge in the nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's been covered enough times that it didn't necessarily need to be brought up with brief history of Triangle Sports. Let Julius live in peace, man. Because anytime in the world of sports somebody gets hit in the nuts, it's like, hit up Jules.
Somebody get Jules on the phone.
Get Jules on the phone. I'm pretty sure Pablo Torre did an entire special with Julius Hodge about that, if I'm not mistaken. And we've done that with Jules as well. All right, let's go to a 704.
Hey guys, it's Paul. I just wanted to weigh in on this Paw Patrol versus Thomas the Tank Engine. What universe would you like to live in? Because Paw Patrol definitely has its issues. It is definitely a libertarian's wet dream. But I do have questions about that giant, expensive bridge that is connecting one part, the part of the town that actually has a bunch of stuff, and like this one tower that's clearly being used by the rich kid controlling all the dogs. Who paid for that? Because I bet the kid didn't. I bet the taxes of the people had to. That's not libertarianism. I'm just saying that sounds more like what America is, where the poor pay for everything and the rich pay for nothing. But here we are. Ovi, as you said, you wanted to live on the island of Sodor. Not if you're a train, because Chris asked the question: Do trains have rights on the island of Sodor? And I don't think they do, because there's an episode where Sir Topham Hatt takes a train that's broken down and he essentially murders him. It's a sentient train, right? So like this train has emotions and feelings, and I guess has to breathe air. I'm not really sure how that works. But he takes this broken down train, puts him in a decommissioned tunnel, and seals the tunnel. Seals him inside because he's broken down. I mean, he basically treated him like a horse to the glue factory. So I'd say I'd say trains don't have rights. And they're the ones doing all the work. So like, is the island of Sodor a train apartheid? Those are my thoughts.
Oh, whoa. Hold up. Again, that's in reference to episode from Monday. Couple things. You mentioned Paw Patrol. We don't know where Ryder's getting the money from. He's saying Paul's claiming it's taxpayer money. We don't know that. We don't know who's funding Ryder and his puppies who are doing privatized municipal services. We don't know. Is it Peter Thiel? We don't know, Joe. So you can't sit here and say that the taxpayers are doing this, so therefore it all works out. No. We don't know the source of his funding. Is it Soros? I don't know. Dark money. The Koch brothers? I have no idea. I remember the episode of
Wichita
Thomas.
State play basketball.
Right. I know which Thomas the Tank Engine episode he's referring to. The engine was punished. He wasn't necessarily broken down. He was punished, and he was put in a decommissioned tunnel, but he had room to breathe. They just boarded it up, and he had a little cutout so air could get in. So it wasn't that bad.
I was mad you didn't sing any of the jingle.
What?
The trains.
Loves cover 2. Holy shit, Thomas the Tank Engine was dark. James made me watch that all day. That ish was dark.
Yes.
James was super into that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go back to the sports phone to a 910.
Hey guys, I am commuting to my second day of law school orientation after a 10-year career in teaching, starting a new thing, and I can already tell, listening to you guys, I'm a little bit behind because of summer protocol, so I'm catching up a little bit, but I can already tell that 40-minute commute, listen to you guys on the way there, on the way back, that's going to be a big part of my decompressing for the next few years, as it was even when I was commuting 30 minutes to my teaching job the past handful of years. So just a random call to say, appreciate you guys, keep doing what you're doing, and I'll keep listening as long as you guys are doing what you do.
No, we appreciate that. Good luck with law school, man. I know that that second year is no joke, man. Second year is no joke in law school, from what I can remember, because, I just took in law school through osmosis. Through osmosis. Let's see. What else do we... Mitch chimed in yesterday with our brief history of Triangle Good. And I'm kind of mad at him. I wish I could reach to the screen and strangle Mitch for this. He says, if we could recommend one women's basketball soundbite, and he dug up the August 15th conversation that the old British Tar Heel had with UNC women's basketball coach Courtney Bangart. This was something that was scrubbed from the internet, but leave it to Corey over at Pack Pride because the rivalry never sleeps, managing to clip this part of the conversation.
Do you enjoy beating more, NC State or Duke?
Oh, gosh. It's like you're asking me who I hate less. It's like I guess
if you could say that, the question normally is who do you hate more, NC State or Duke? But I didn't want to.
Instead I just made it easy for you. Who do I hate less? It's like that's like who's your favorite child, right? I mean, it's like I hate both of them more than probably I should because I don't have the history that everybody else has. Duke is a national and international rivalry that I love. NC State fans are so classless. I just don't even like going there, right? So I don't know. It's a hard one.
There you go. Of course, that set off a whole bunch of stuff and small gyms and various other stuff. I feel like there's its own brief history of whatever happened to British Tar Heel. Because we didn't really hear from British Tar Heel after 22 Final Four run.
Okay.
I hope he's okay. All right, let's go back to the OG Sports Phone, shall we?
Hello. My name is Alex, and I had an epiphany of a dream last night. I think everyone should hear. So I am an NC State fan, die hard. Most of the time, if I dream of sports, it is probably the night before opening day, kickoff, whatever the occasion is for whatever sport. But last night, it is July 31st today, so the evening of July 30th. I have a vivid memory of a dream that I had last night where Notre Dame was playing Boston College and Bill O'Brien in Chestnut Hill. And Boston College snuck out a win to upset the Fighting Irish. Final score was 24-21. I haven't looked at Notre Dame's schedule. I haven't looked at Boston College schedule. I haven't looked at any preseason ACC media hype regarding any of those two schools. So I woke up this morning and was just kind of confused, and I just happened to look at the schedules. Turns out Notre Dame is visiting Boston College on the 1st of November in Chestnut Hill. And I think that is enough tell for a Boston College money line lock. You heard it here. Thank you.
Are you in,
it.
Joe?
I'm in.
You're in?
I'm in. Give it to me. Give it to me.
I mean, if you saw it in a dream, man, you saw it in a dream. Who says no? All right, let's go to a 919.
Hello, OG. Courtesy driver. Wednesday, August 6th, 7:51 p.m. So, the four-letter network that seemingly had financial problems, in the last 2 years we've heard about Disney might want to just sell that off, sure has seemed to spend a lot of money in the last couple of days. I'm not a big fan of this monopoly that does not get broken up by the FCC. And then on top of that, they seem to just want to take over everything. WWE fans can't be happy right now about these pay-per-views or PLEs, as they call them these days, premium live events, in 2026 going over to their new streaming platform and leaving Peacock. Hopefully, the archived classic wrestling content will stay on Peacock. We'll see. It sounds like it's just those PLEs going to ESPN. And I'm very concerned about what will ESPN do with the red zone. Because one way or another, they find a way to screw stuff up. Thank you. Have a good night.
Appreciate the call. I will use this call to promote the OG on Business that's going to come out tomorrow morning. Dimitri and I spent a good chunk of time after debating the demise of classic rock on 100.1 WRDU. Oh, they've updated. They're no longer classic rock. It's like classic alternative now.
Oh, 100.7.
Yeah, 100.7.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Dimitri and I talked extensively about the ESPN NFL deal, what it means, and things like that. Now, one thing we did not talk about, but Curtis brings up, is this kind of like nagging feeling that ESPN used to be the tastemaker when we were growing up.
Sure.
That was the cosign you needed to be cool. Now ESPN, for a good chunk of the audience, has turned into the OGs. How are they going to ruin it? So like with Red Zone, like what are they going to put Stephen A. Smith on Red Zone now?
Okay.
Like, you know, that kind of thing, right?
I hear what you're saying now.
But my understanding of that part of the deal is that at least for the next couple of years, the NFL is the one who's running Red Zone. ESPN just gets to carry it, license it, all that kind of stuff. So it's not going to change too much. But again, we'll have an extensive conversation about all that, what it means for sports fans and who won, who lost, all that kind of stuff on OG on Business, which will come out tomorrow morning. Let's go to a 920.
Hey, Joes. This is Kelly up in Wisconsin. Don't know if you're doing the mailbag anymore. I know there's some restructuring going on, but I was listening to the last couple shows, and Joe, you mentioned about nostalgia being a drug when you talked about Happy Gilmore, too. I always thought nostalgia is more like the black hole in space. You get caught up in that gravitational pull, there's no way you're getting out. You're gone. And I think about that because Happy Gilmore 2, maybe he was trying to get his family, you know, the SAG cards and all that, as you mentioned, which probably did happen. You talk about the Star Wars characters that are so obtuse and people get attracted. They're in the black hole. They're not coming back. They got caught in that gravitational pull of nostalgia and, like you said, a 2-second bit in the movie, and it was great. Now, why don't they make a whole series about them or something? I agree. It's just freaking stupid. But I think back to like a band like, say, Superchunk or the Connells or Pearl Jam. They're still releasing albums, and who am I to say you can't make music? And I don't get nostalgia about it. I always think about the artists that got too close and are now in the gravitational pull of the black hole, or bands like The Who, how many final tours did they did? The gravitational pull has just killed them.
I appreciate the call, Kelly, and that's a very good point about getting sucked into that black hole or a rabbit hole. I mean, I'm guilty of that, and that sometimes I will go down a Wikipedia rabbit hole or a YouTube audio rabbit hole, that kind of stuff. You fall asleep on me over there?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Need some coffee? Okay. Okay. We're almost done.
I know.
Home stretch, Joe. I'll perk you up with some of the Instagram stuff you sent me. So, so a couple things. Kelly brought up the mailbag. The mailbag is coming back.
Okay.
Mailbag should be coming back soon. The mailbag will likely be a YouTube membership thing, just to keep
That's
it
a thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that keeps it simple.
You know how to do that.
It really is just going in and turning it on.
Okay.
Within YouTube. Now people say, "Well, I don't watch YouTube. I only listen to it in podcast form."
We have heard that a little bit.
We have heard that. I would say that some of the mailbag preview will be audio, but to watch the whole thing, it'll be YouTube. Just like with After Dark, sometimes we just kept those as YouTube exclusives.
Yeah.
There's a method to the madness. There's also some other perks that come along with the YouTube membership. Like, what do we want to charge people? $5.99, $9.99? Like, what do we want to do? We can do whatever price.
I prefer the wink nod $8.50.
I can't do $8.50. It's like $1.99.
Oh, really?
$2.99, $3.99, $4.99, $5.99. Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Then sorry, people. It has to be.
It has to be $9.99.
$9.99
$9.99.
or
But
99.
Yeah, sure.
9.
Sure. So with the YouTube membership, though, there's like things where you can get the video before 2:00, like on our normal.
Okay.
Because we premiere episodes at 2:00.
You're saying there's some more options there that we haven't explored because for our financial model is based on selling ads, not necessarily exploring everything that YouTube offers.
Yes.
Or Google offers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we'll look into that. So just something to keep an eye on. Now, as far as the nostalgia and the bands and all that kind of stuff, Kelly makes a really good point about how there are bands that are continuing to push forward, making new music, but they're also not dummies. They also know in order to get you in the building, you got to play the hits. I've witnessed this. I will have witnessed this twice already this year. I went to go see Deftones in Charlotte with Caleb, and it was a great show. They did not have any new music to promote. It just so happens that they have a new album coming out here in the next couple of weeks. But that was purely a, hey man, we're going to play the freaking hits. And it was great. It was also my first time seeing Deftones in that setting in over, 20 years probably. So it was good to go see them again. But they're clearly an active band moving forward. 9 Inch Nails is in a couple of weeks at Lenovo Center. I'm taking Caleb to that one. It just so happens that Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross are putting out the Tron soundtrack in October. So they're putting out new music too. But I'm here to tell you that playlist is going to be nothing but the hits for a bunch of 40-something, 50-something guys like me that are just going to be feeling some type of way. So there is a weird balancing act in that I do appreciate the new music that's being put out by artists, and I'll consume it on my phone. I'll buy the vinyl, all that kind of stuff. But when I go to a show, man, I want to see the hits, that kind of a thing. But that's music. Music I always classify differently than movies and shows and all that kind of stuff. Because at least for me, music makes you feel a completely different kind of way. All right. Before we get out of here, Joe sent me some things via social media that wasn't Rush Talk. Let's see what you sent me here. Oh,
Let's try to remember.
Oh, no. This happened in Bristol, the baseball game, the Fire Fest. What do we have here?
A little bit of a fire fest on their hands tonight during a baseball game that they held inside of a NASCAR track. The game didn't happen because it rained all night. The racetrack ran out of all sorts of food. They were serving hot dogs with no buns, which I think should be a war crime. Nachos with no cheese, just chips. It was just not good. Major League fail. The Bristol game was the MLB version of Firefest. Awful logistics, no food except bunless hot dogs and cheeseless nachos.
A war crime. Well, it does prove the point. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Well, it's still a hot dog without a bun, right? So therefore, it is not a sandwich. It is a hot dog. My guy Chris went to that game.
Okay.
So I texted him, and I was like, I texted him on Monday.
Are these people still buying the hot dogs though? Like,
well,
who's
that's what
that
I said. I texted him on Monday. I said, "Did you get a hot dog without a bun? Nachos with actual cheese?" He goes, "I have thoughts. Buckle up." And he says to me, "Did I experience the food issues? No. Was I still drinking beer and having hot dogs with buns in the 8th inning yesterday? Yes. Sadly, I'm in an old age. I've become rational." I'm like, that's pretty freeing, isn't it? But I think what the bunless hot dogs and the nachos without cheese was more of an indictment on how Major League Baseball has been doing these one-off games in special locations.
Yeah.
The ones that they've been successful with have been intimate. locations.
Right. The cornfield or the 82nd Airborne.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or I think they went to Omaha too for
Okay.
where they do the College World Series. So those are more intimate locations. That's what makes people feel a particular way about baseball. This was like a classic, like football-esque or hockey-esque cash grab.
Or the bananas.
Don't get me started on the bananas. Speaking of minor league baseball, you sent this to me and I have to add, I watched this before I put it up. How gullible are you? This is something the Pickles.
I mean,
I don't know, Portland Pickles. That's a minor league baseball team. All right, here we go.
It's our lucky fan that gets to take it at bat tonight, Dixie. We appreciate the heck out of you. So Dixie for Jamie McGraw, question mark?
Okay, so this is a pro summer ball team in Portland. They let a fan take an at bat. Okay. Now the Pickles are already up in this game by a few runs. It's in the 8th inning when they bring him out there. Okay. Type up the crowd.
Wow. If he makes it that
This
far,
is
the
very
2-2. low.
In chase.
This is very short. So he's worked the full count. Goes to pitch.
Payoff pitch. High fly ball. Left center field. Are you kidding me?
Buddy, let me tell you something. Full count, work the full count. Then you've got that sweet swing that goes yard. That's fake.
You're suggesting that was staged.
That
was a morning radio show.
At some pro summer ball, like
that was a breakup on a morning radio show. Is that what you're telling me?
Should I break up with him? And then you hear this story and
well, we can ask Zoe herself. She's on the phone right now. We're so fucking clever. We invented morning radio.
That was
tell me something.
That was fake. That was fake. All right, what else did you send me here? This is Joe Alt breaks down grilled cheese and tomato soup debates with teammates.
I like
the NFL.
You know, there's parts of the country that don't do tomato soup with grilled cheese.
That's probably true about a lot of places. We're just weird and have some crazy combos.
I feel like grilled cheese tomato soup is elite.
Well, like, don't they not like they don't put cheese on pizzas in Italy, right? Isn't it just a sauce?
We're talking about our country. I was like, yeah, in the United States. I'm not talking about other countries.
No, I understand that.
Then why'd you bring up Italy?
Because I'm saying we put cheese on our pizza. They don't.
I'm pretty sure you can get a cheese pizza on the argument.
But
The argument was parts of our country do different things, and then all of a sudden you bring up Italy.
Oh, you're saying inside of our own country?
That's what we're saying. Or at least I feel like I've seen that on Instagram.
Well, then what are they eating grilled cheese with?
That's what I'm saying.
It'd be crazy if you're
By
just
itself.
eating a grilled
Eat it by
cheese.
itself.
Imagine just eating a grilled cheese.
That's what they do, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, do I like a grilled cheese with tomato soup? Dip it. I'm into that.
I eat grilled cheese by itself all the time. All the time.
When's the last time you had a grilled cheese?
2 days ago.
For real?
Yes.
Dude, I haven't had grilled cheese. Like the last time I've had a grilled cheese when the kids were little and I was doing the garbage plate thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, all right, dad's just going to be the garbage disposal. Like I've tend to be. Oh, you didn't finish the fries? Well, guess who's going to finish the fries? Me. That sort of thing, right?
I love a grilled cheese. In fact,
I love grilled cheese too.
In fact, I've never had grilled cheese with tomato soup. I just like that the lineman was arguing with the franchise quarterback and wasn't like, just glazing him. He was like actually like pushing back.
Fair enough. YouTube comment section from yesterday's 25 sound bites that explain 25 years of Triangle Sports from Kevin. Don Cherry even sounded like Abe Simpson. Yeah, I forgot how unhinged that Cherry clip was. Like he made 0 sense. 0 sense. No. But hey, man, the only thing that mattered was he said a bunch of jerks and they took it and ran with it. Jay Nerd's blog. Sendek can have been both a misrepresented, nationally overhyped underachiever and the best coach we've had by far between V and Kevin Keats. Both things can be true. I get that he wasn't good, but I also feel he deserves a little bit more love for his time here.
Why are you choosing violence?
From P.S. Bell Jr., great show. I moved to Maryland for work, and boy, the Maryland fans up here still think Duke is their biggest basketball rival. Will we ever see Duke go back up to College Park?
It would have been nice.
From A.T. John, sniff. Man, that O'Brien quote is one for the ages. Triple play. From Brandon, the Giglio Butch interaction was amazing. Sam, I am. Doug, I'm not a
That's so
doctor
good.
is my
I'm
favorite Roy. That's his all-timer.
I'm not a banker.
That's an all-timer. Brian Lemongello, we're all here for the nostalgia. It's fantastic. I love these good series. Just keep rolling on this business. I'm sure we'll find other ways to do this. And finally, there are two things that people have been sending me. I only have enough time to address one. The one that I'm not going to address because I feel like I need more time to marinate on it is the USA Today story about the Dallas Stars going full Game of Thrones on youth hockey in the Metroplex.
Oh, okay.
It's a pretty involved story that I have not finished reading, but the juxt of it is that the Dallas Stars have a monopoly on youth hockey, and the price of the brick is going up, and other organizations have been squeezed out. And because we know that Tom Dundon is such a Dallas guy, and he's viewed the Dallas Stars and what they do sometimes as a template for what the Canes do, is that something that Dundon in the future would do? My quick answer to that is not in the immediate future. The thing that is at issue with youth hockey in the area isn't the junior Canes, because the junior Canes do have competition. You have the Golden Bears and you have the Raleigh Raptors. The issue is ice time, and will continue to be ice time because Polar essentially has a stranglehold on all of that. And that goes beyond youth hockey. If you're like an adult league guy or gal or whatever, it's a pain in the ass. But I feel like that's a deeper conversation for another day. Instead, I want to address something that some folks have sent to me. A gentleman by the name of Corey Bellamore. And Corey blasted the beer mile world record.
Oh.
He has broken the beer mile record a few times, but he's broken his own record for an eye-watering 4 minutes, 27.1 seconds.
Get the hell out of here.
That is 4 beers, 4 quarter-mile laps. 4 beers, 1 mile. He did it in 4 minutes, 27.1 seconds. One of our listeners sent me this video. He did an interview. Here's what he had to say.
Since this is a new world record, 4:27.1, how did this feel?
Hard. It's been quite a while right now, just sitting down, kind of processing it. And yeah, I mean, I haven't been on the track quite as much as previous races, so definite shock to the body. And the beer mile is always like a challenging event. So
yeah, I bet it's a definite shock to the body, being somebody that's done it a few times. I did that in under 10 minutes, and I felt like I had accomplished something.
That's amazing.
When I was at my running peak, if you could call it that. Okay. That was before the world shut down in March 2020. I had done the Runology Dorothea Dix 5K in the spring.
Okay.
It's a cool day, man. I ran my best 5K time. I was in great shape. I had also just come off of doing the Krispy Kreme challenge as well.
Oh.
So I can't even run. I'm trying to think what my best mile was. I probably did a sub 8 at some point. I want to say I got it to about 7, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then, of course, my left knee started being funky on me, and I haven't really run since. But that's neither here nor there. If I was to do the beer mile again at that time, like let's say all things being equal, I was still running, the world didn't shut down, and did a beer mile that May, I probably could have gotten my time down to 8 minutes.
In the beer mile.
Okay. I could have shaved 2 minutes, I think.
I mean, well, I did 1 lap and 1 beer, and that was a lot. It's the beer.
It's the beer.
It's the beer because you can shoot the beer and then drink, but I can't imagine going back for another.
Nah, yeah, man.
I can't imagine doing it 4 times. Didn't Penn Holderness do it in like 6 minutes or some shit? Didn't he lap you?
That asshole lapped me. Okay. Okay. And
It's not
I say that lovingly.
No, I know.
You know, because
handsome motherfucker. And he's out there drinking beer.
Right. Not only is Ken Doll handsome, right? And that man can just, spit out some funky lyrics on a viral video, and it's all over my timeline. I mean, again, nothing but love to the Holderness family, man. Penn's a good dude. But when he lapped me at the beer mile, however many years ago it was, I've lost track. I was so pissed. So pissed.
Why do you get everything?
Come on, man. Can I have this? Can I have my moment? Jeez. So yeah, he lapped me. He did it in like 6 minutes and something. As to what is a better athletic achievement,
the Krispy Kreme.
Beer mile under 10 minutes is personally an amazing achievement, but doing the Krispy Kreme challenge in under an hour, I think would top that, because beer is beer, man. You're just sucking down liquid. You could burp while you go.
You're not even a sweet person.
That's the big issue.
Yeah.
12 freaking donuts. Man. It's brutal stuff. It's too much. It's too much. Anyway, let's get right.
I don't like it when people get sick. And people get sick.
Well,
it would make me sick to be around people who get sick.
People get sick at both events. But the one thing that you don't necessarily have to deal with at the beer mile, the throwing up usually happens when it's done.
Okay, that makes sense.
When it's done. Like, shout out to Alec Campbell. We did a relay once. We did a two-man relay.
Two-man relay?
It was a two-man relay, me and Alec. And I drank my 2 beers. We did good time. And then he threw up after the fact. Like, he's like, I gotta go away. Like, I'm getting food. Like, I need to eat something.
Well,
he's out there throwing out
over there. Yeah.
The problem with the Krispy Kreme challenge is after you've consumed your 12 donuts and you have to prove that you're out of the donuts and run around the corner, there is just nothing but
shrapnel,
just donut barf all up and down the road as you are going back to the bell tower. So that's why the Krispy Kreme challenge is actually a little bit on the harder side. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for today's show. I promised it was going to be a shorter show, and it is. It's not 2.5 hours.
It's all relative.
It's all 90 minutes.
Hey, we got better.
We got better tonight.
To finish my question.
We'll see y'all on Monday.